When we talk about belly fat, most people think it's just about appearance, the number on the scale, the waistline in the mirror. But science reveals something far more important. Hidden deep inside your abdomen lies visceral fat, a toxic type of fat that wraps around your organs, silently driving inflammation, insulin resistance, and even aging itself. But here's the good news: your body was never designed to store this kind of fat forever. Nature has already given us powerful foods that turn off inflammation and melt belly fat naturally, if we know how to use them. So let's start with the science. Belly fat grows not only when we overeat, but when our metabolic balance gets disrupted. When chronic inflammation hijacks our hormones like insulin and cortisol, this inflammation keeps fat cells open, constantly storing more fat instead of burning it. But the foods you eat every day can literally flip that switch from storage mode to burn mode. There is one simple truth: food is not just calories, it's information. What you eat speaks to your DNA, your immune system, and even your fat cells. Some foods tell your body to hold on to fat and inflame. Others tell your body to calm down, heal, and burn fat for fuel. So what's the eat-tish secret? It's not a pill or a powder. It's anti-inflammatory, fat-burning foods like avocados, green tea, berries, olive oil, and dark chocolate, 85% cacao oat. Each of these is scientifically proven to shrink fat cells and reduce inflammation markers in your blood. For example, the polyphenols in green tea activate your brown fat, which burns energy instead of storing it. The healthy fats in avocados trigger the release of adiponectin, a hormone that helps break down stored fat. And the anthocyanins in blueberries fight oxidative stress that triggers chronic inflammation. When you eat these foods daily, something amazing happens. Your blood sugar stabilizes, your insulin sensitivity improves, your inflammation levels drop, and your body begins to burn belly fat naturally, even while you rest. So, if you want to reclaim your energy, flatten your belly, and shut down inflammation, start with your plate. Eat smart. Eat clean. Eat foods that heal. Most people think belly fat is simply stored energy, something you can burn off with exercise or dieting. But deep beneath the surface of your abdominal fat lies something far more dangerous: visceral fat. This hidden fat wraps itself around your internal organs, your liver, intestines, and pancreas, silently disrupting the body's natural rhythm. Unlike the soft fat you can pinch just under your skin, visceral fat is firm and packed deep within your core. It's metabolically active, meaning it doesn't just sit there. It releases a continuous stream of harmful molecules into your bloodstream, triggering a cascade of inflammation that affects your entire body. This toxic activity confuses your hormones, raising insulin and cortisol levels, two major players in fat storage. When visceral fat builds up, it acts almost like a secret organ, one that fuels disease rather than health. It produces inflammatory cytokines, chemical messengers that signal the body to stay on high alert. Over time, this chronic state of inflammation damages blood vessels, raises blood pressure, and even increases the risk of heart disease and diabetes. You may not feel it happening, but your body feels it every single day. That's why so many people with seemingly normal weight still struggle with fatigue, sugar cravings, and stubborn belly fat that refuses to go away. It's not just about eating too much. It's about the metabolic chaos this hidden fat causes. Science has shown that visceral fat directly interferes with how your liver processes fats and sugars. When the liver becomes surrounded by this fat, it starts sending out the wrong messages, converting excess energy into more fat and storing it exactly where you don't want it. It's a vicious cycle, one that keeps your body trapped in fat storage mode. But understanding the nature of this hidden fat is the first step toward reversing it. You can't see it in the mirror, but you can feel its effects through low energy, mood swings, and poor digestion. Your waistline may grow quietly, but the real damage happens inside, at the cellular level. By recognizing that belly fat isn't just a cosmetic issue, but a biological signal of inflammation and imbalance, you begin to see why targeting visceral fat with the right foods and habits is essential to restoring true metabolic health. Inflammation is the body's natural defense system, a way to heal wounds or fight off infections. But when that process never shuts off, it becomes chronic, silent, and deeply destructive. Inside your body, this low-grade inflammation acts like a slow, burning fire that refuses to go out. It damages tissues, disrupts hormones, and keeps your metabolism trapped in a constant state of stress. One of the biggest victims of this internal fire is your fat metabolism. When inflammation lingers, it sends powerful signals that tell your body to store fat instead of burning it. The cells responsible for energy balance become confused, and the communication between your brain, fat tissue, and liver starts to break down. Hormones like insulin, leptin, and cortisol are key to managing body fat. Insulin helps move glucose into cells for energy, but inflammation makes those cells resistant to its signal. That means more insulin circulates in your blood, pushing your body to convert extra glucose into stored fat, especially around your belly. At the same time, cortisol, the stress hormone, rises as inflammation triggers a continuous fight or flight response. Elevated cortisol tells your body to hold onto energy reserves, which leads to even more fat accumulation. And while all of this is happening, leptin, the hormone that tells you when you're full, becomes less effective. The result is constant hunger, sugar cravings, and an inability to burn stored fat efficiently. This inflammatory loop doesn't just affect your waistline, it impacts your overall health. Your blood vessels become less flexible, your liver works harder to manage toxins and fats, and your gut microbiome starts to shift in unhealthy ways. The bacteria that promote fat loss decrease, while those that trigger inflammation multiply. It's a system-wide imbalance that makes weight loss almost impossible, no matter how little you eat. Over time, chronic inflammation turns your fat cells into active participants in disease. They don't just store energy, they release chemicals that further fuel inflammation, keeping your body stuck in a self-perpetuating cycle. Breaking this pattern means calming the inflammation first. Once you do, the body naturally shifts from storage mode to burn mode. The key isn't extreme dieting or punishing exercise. It's restoring balance at the cellular level so your hormones, metabolism, and immune system can finally work together again. Food is far more than fuel. It's a form of biological communication that speaks directly to your body at the cellular level. Every bite you take carries a message that can either heal or harm, depending on what you choose to eat. Modern nutritional science has shown that the nutrients, vitamins, and bioactive compounds found in food have the power to turn genes on or off, regulate inflammation, and influence how fat is stored or burned. This means that food literally acts as information, sending chemical signals that can guide your metabolism toward health or push it deeper into imbalance. When you consume highly processed foods filled with sugars, refined oils, and artificial additives, you're telling your body to inflame, to store energy, and to disrupt hormonal balance. On the other hand, when you eat whole, natural foods, those rich in antioxidants, polyphenols, and omega-3s, you're sending the opposite message, one of healing, calm, and efficient fat burning. The gut, often called the second brain, plays a central role in decoding these food messages. The foods you eat shape your microbiome, the community of trillions of bacteria living in your digestive tract. When you feed your body with fiber, rich vegetables, fruits, and plant compounds, you nurture beneficial bacteria that produce anti-inflammatory molecules and improve insulin sensitivity. But when you feed it with processed sugars and unhealthy fats, harmful bacteria take over, releasing toxins that inflame the gut lining and signal your immune system to stay in defense mode. This constant state of alert not only drives inflammation, but also slows down metabolism, trapping you in a cycle of fatigue and fat storage. Food also communicates with your hormones in profound ways. Certain foods rich in healthy fats, like avocados, nuts, and olive oil, help release adiponectin, a hormone that breaks down fat and regulates blood sugar. Others, like green tea and berries, activate pathways that stimulate brown fat, the kind of fat that burns energy instead of storing it. Even the timing of your meals can influence these signals, as your body's internal clock responds to nutrients at specific times of the day. When you start to see food as information, not just as calories, you take back control of your metabolism. The right food messages can reprogram your body to burn fat naturally, reduce inflammation, and restore balance from within. The foods you eat every day can be your greatest ally in melting belly fat and calming inflammation if you choose those with natural anti-inflammatory and fat-burning properties. Science has revealed that certain foods contain bioactive compounds that influence how your body stores and burns fat. Take avocados, for example. They're rich in monounsaturated fats that improve insulin sensitivity and trigger the release of adiponectin, a hormone that helps break down stored fat. These healthy fats also keep you full longer, reducing cravings and preventing the blood sugar spikes that fuel fat storage. Similarly, extra virgin olive oil contains powerful antioxidants called polyphenols, which protect your blood vessels from inflammation and support a healthy metabolism. When you replace processed oils with olive oil, you're not just changing your flavor, you're changing your biology. Green tea is another fat-burning superstar. It contains a compound known as epigallocatechin galatete that activates your body's brown fat, a special type of fat that burns calories to generate heat. This means green tea doesn't just support metabolism, it helps convert your stored fat into energy. Drinking it daily can subtly increase your fat-burning potential throughout the day. Then there are berries, blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries, which are loaded with anthocyanins, natural pigments that reduce oxidative stress and inflammation. They also improve how your body processes glucose, lowering the chances of fat accumulation around your midsection. Dark chocolate with at least 85% cocoa can also play a surprising role. The flavonoids in cocoa improve blood flow, lower inflammation, and help control appetite. When consumed in moderation, it satisfies sweet cravings while supporting heart and metabolic health. Even small additions like turmeric and ginger can make a difference. Their active compounds, curcumin and gingerol, block inflammatory pathways and help restore metabolic balance. Over time, including these foods consistently helps reset the body's internal chemistry, encouraging it to burn fat naturally rather than store it. Eating these foods daily is not about restriction or deprivation, it's about nourishment and renewal. Each meal becomes an opportunity to calm inflammation, support your metabolism, and feed your body what it truly needs. When anti-inflammatory foods dominate your plate, your hormones, gut, and fat cells all respond positively. The body's natural rhythm begins to restore itself, energy rises, and stubborn belly fat starts to melt away as inflammation finally subsides. Lasting change doesn't happen overnight, it comes from small, consistent choices that signal your body to heal from within. When you eat anti-inflammatory, nutrient-rich foods daily, you're not just nourishing yourself for the moment, you're reprogramming your metabolism for long-term balance. Consistency is what allows the body's natural repair systems to take control again. Every time you eat clean, wholesome food, your inflammation levels drop a little more, your blood sugar stabilizes, and your fat-burning hormones regain their sensitivity. Over time, this steady repetition builds a powerful internal shift. The body begins to respond differently to food. Instead of hoarding fat, it starts using it as energy. The more consistent you are, the more your body learns to stay in this burn mode. When you maintain these habits daily, your cells begin to work more efficiently. Mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses inside your cells, start to generate energy more cleanly, without the excessive byproducts that fuel inflammation. Your digestion improves because your gut bacteria thrive on the fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats you provide. This in turn strengthens your immune system, improves mood, and enhances focus. The benefits compound with each meal, each day, and each choice you make. Even your hormones start to align with this new rhythm. Cortisol levels normalize, Insulin becomes more responsive, and leptin signals your brain more accurately, reducing overeating and restoring natural appetite control. Consistency also retrains your taste buds and cravings. Processed foods that once seemed irresistible begin to lose their appeal as your body gets used to real nourishment. The need for sugar and junk fades, replaced by the satisfaction of feeling light, energetic, and focused. This isn't about short-term dieting or cutting out entire food groups. It's about building a lifestyle your body can trust. When your metabolism knows what to expect, clean, healing foods every day, it no longer clings to fat as a survival mechanism. Over weeks and months, inflammation continues to decline quietly beneath the surface. Your skin looks clear, your energy levels remain stable, and your body composition begins to shift. The fat that once felt impossible to lose starts melting away naturally, without extreme effort. True transformation happens when you show up for your health every day. Consistency doesn't just change your weight. It rewires your biology for lasting vitality and balance. When it comes to melting hidden belly fat and shutting down inflammation, it's not about shortcuts, extreme diets, or punishing workouts. It's about understanding how your body truly works. Every cell in your body listens to the messages you send through the food you eat. When you choose foods that fight inflammation and restore balance, you give your body permission to heal itself. The fat that once felt stuck begins to release, your energy returns, and your metabolism finds its natural rhythm again. Real transformation starts from within, with knowledge, consistency, and the right nourishment. So begin today, not with restriction but with intention. Fill your plate with foods that love you back. Vibrant vegetables, healthy fats, berries, green tea, olive oil, and real, natural ingredients that bring your body back to life. Over time, you'll notice that your waistline begins to shrink, your mind feels clearer, and your overall health begins to glow from the inside out. Remember, healing isn't a race, it's a journey. Every meal, every choice, every step you take toward balance moves you closer to a healthier, stronger, and more vibrant version of yourself. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I hope this message inspires you to see food not just as fuel, but as your most powerful tool for transformation. Take care of your body, nurture it with the right foods, and it will reward you with energy, vitality, and lasting health. Until next time, stay consistent, stay curious, and stay healthy. Thank you, and take good care of yourself.